Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Ring of Honor Resurrection. We have a new logo. We got the official logo. You guys voted for it on the channel. I did some highlights. You can barely see it, but you can see it in the thumbnail. I tweaked it up, grittied it up a little bit, made it our own. But I think it's sharp. I love the throwback to the old school with it. So we added it. We've fully incorporated it into the brand. I dig it. We had in the real world, I finally watched the latest pay-per-view, and it was quite damn good. Makes me kind of want to have Claudio on our roster, but we do not. In fact, I don't think in our save at this point he's even in. Is he in A? He's not in AEW in the save, is he? Let's take a look. Could we steal him? Let's steal him. See, he's at MLW. What are you doing, Cesaro? What are you doing? Come to us. You cost so much for which. Huh. He would do it. Well, we'll leave that on the wayside. That's an idea. But I also might want to add him into the AEW roster instead. Is probably the fairer thing than to bring him into ours. First of all, because I think if we were to, well, actually, if we got him in, AEW wouldn't be able to get him. It's weird how that situation works because they can't move people up that aren't on developmental contracts. So it's a little weird. It keeps our roster safe, which is nice because we have our own unique one. But it's also weird that we can't hire people out and do dual shifts and stuff like that. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about last show. Last show was pretty good. I'm really happy with that score. I think it was one of the best we've had yet. Outside of the very first episode, actually. Sell out for only a mere 250 people, but that is fine. Total of 500,000 viewers watching it on HBO. Pretty okay. We had Garcia winning the World Television title. Kind of an upset against Suzuki, but Suzuki then writing Goon on Garcia's chest and seeming like we're going to have a little bit of a tag team, little stable forming in Ring of Honor here under Suzuki's excursion. Jordan Grace attacking Willow. Obviously, Jordan Grace is our number one women's competitor champion at this point. Jazim Salami. Oh my God, can't stop calling him Salami. Jazim Salmani. Joe Hendry defeat Dalton Castle and the boys in handicap match because of course why wouldn't they? This is interesting. I'm not sure where we're gonna go with Joe Hendry and Jazim, but Joe Hendry we're gonna try to I gotta tweak his stats a little bit, see what the hell's going on with him, but we already know that some wrestlers have said that that dude's a talker, he should be talking, so I almost wonder if we're gonna move him into a managerial role for Jazim a little bit and let him kind of talk it up about how great he is, and then maybe that leads into Hendry talking a little bit too much about himself and Jazim getting a little pissed off. I think that might be something we might do. Smojo starts dismantling members of the Foundation. Flip Gordon calling out Tony Nese. And Brian Cage finally having a match against Brer Boulder that went on way too long. And of course, the FTR and Young Bucks bicker about who is the number one contender after that that final match that made them a little upset. And they ended up setting up a triple threat tag match. We do not have a pay-per-view until the next 22 days, so we might do that match in the middle, because I don't think there's much story to build up at this point for them. So it's definitely something that we want to look at. Cage still has some minor morale issues. Tully Blanchard Enterprises is apparently gone in the real world because Tully Blanchard left AEW, did not renew his contract. I'm still going to keep it, though. I like Tully Blanchard Enterprises, so screw y'all. We're going to keep that. Silas Young's back on the roster. We're going to figure out something to do with him. And then we have some face changes that we're going to have to do. And Cole Cabana's a little upset, too. For what? For why? Why? Irritated being left off of Ring of Honor. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We might do some post matches going forward as well. I was contemplating. I know it doesn't affect the actual show rating. We tend to do pre-show matches, but post-show matches might not be a bad opportunity to get some of our main eventers that aren't on the show an opportunity to work in like a tag match or a triple threat match. Something that doesn't really count towards the story, gives the fans, though, their main event that has their wrestlers they want to see, and hopefully stops making them angry. We got to kind of balance that. So we know our goal here, though, is 57. So we're going to have to do that. We're going to try to at least hit that metric. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go do some tweaking on a few things, and we're going to forward it ahead to our next episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling. All right, see you guys in a second. All right. You know what? We got to remember to change this logo. The tribal tat is gone, finally. We have to update it everywhere. No backstage incidents this week, which is good. Locker room control, we do not need to open form, which is nice. We can medal. Gresham and Joe still have some tension between them. Let's look for something here. Can we get anything? Sure. Let's try. No effect. All right. Where are we going to be? We'll stick in the Mid-Atlantic for now. We can also hit Tri-State. Are probably our two best areas to bounce around. We were expecting 293 for there, 353 here. Let's hit Tri-State. We haven't done Tri-State in a bit. Pick best venue is going to be White Eagle Hall, which will give us 400 people, so almost full capacity. That does give us a little bit more revenue, which is nice, and that hopefully will help us a little bit with our financial situation, which is not great. We are losing money. We do not get pay-per-view sales with our deal with HBL, but we should be getting. Let me look. We should be getting broadcast revenue from that deal, advertising. Nothing from the broadcaster itself, but we are getting advertising revenue. Don't know how that works on a subscription service, but sure. So, that is the pitfall here. Again, money not that much important, but we don't necessarily want to be negative a lot because there is always a possibility that AEW decides to axe us and decides we are not worth existing in their framework. So we want to avoid that if possible. Okay, we got 95 minutes that we can run here. Let's go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'm going to try utilizing the post match if necessary to see if we can manage some of those left off the TV show problems. We can kind of mitigate by getting them on the show on pre-shows and post-shows if needed. All right, catch you guys on the flip. Alright guys, we got a bunch of pre-show matches, one post-show. We're going to try out some things, see if this, if having more pre-show matches works for us. I'm a little worried about financials for it, so we'll see if these provide any benefit for the wrestlers. And we also have one post-show match just to try it out, to see if we can hopefully, deal with some of the morale issues that come about on this save. Booking analysis, we have one wrestler is overused too much, but we really don't have much of a choice about it, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Start the show off with the pre-show. Jazim Salmani ends up beating Jimmy Lloyd in 14 minutes in a pre-show match. Does pretty okay. 46. Jazim has a 52. Jimmy Lloyd has a 47. I actually just wanted to do this to test out Joe Hendry on the mic. I still don't know why these segments are getting so low. We got Jazim at Menace, Joe Hendry on mic. He should be getting a much higher score on these, and I'm really not sure why at all. No clue. Really don't. We got Alex Zane versus the Blackheart, Lio Rush. We have a storyline for Lio. We've kind of put it on the back burner a bit. We don't have anything for Alex Zane right now. So we'll put him in a match. We know it's going to do very well. We give them both opportunity to shine, get some eyes on them. We have 360 people at the White Eagle Hall in Tri-State region, so we want some people to see these guys. It does pretty well. Lio Rush defeats Alex Zane in 11 minutes by pinfall with a rush hour. And then we have Cheeseburger, Eli Isom, and Leon Ruff versus Tully Blanchard Enterprises. It's okay. So overall, not too bad. In the match, it does not have much heat, but it has decent wrestling. Tully Blanchard Enterprises defeats Cheeseburger, Eli Isom, and Leon Ruff in 15 minutes. Brian Cage pins Leon Ruff. I forget, Cheeseburger and Eli have a team, and I can't remember who it is, and I can't remember who else is in it. So something we have to look at maybe incorporating into the save as well. We start the show off with a very poor match. This should have been on the pre-show. AQA versus Willow. AQA in real life has retired from wrestling. This match is not great. Had a little heat, had subpar wrestling. Willow, we kind of give her a 50-50 book and give her win back by defeating AQA in 9 minutes. It's not very great, but it's the start of the show. It's not that bad. It gets the show off to a strong start, which is what the goal was. Can't say much about it. Now, talking about bad matches, I was a little shocked here. Tony Nese versus Connor the Wrench Claxton. Tony defeats Connor in like a minute 50 by stoppage. I mean, this was a super short match that did not, was just to give Tony a win. And Tony has a 32 in this. Connor has a 31. I guess he can't do much with a minute. Gets us a 26, which, yeah. Not shocked here. Afterwards, we have a even worse segment. Really bad. Smart Mark Sterling calls out Flip Gordon's challenge. I thought Mark Sterling would have done better on this segment here, but I guess not. He's standing beside Tony Nese and says, Flip Gordon thinks that he's some kind of grand champion fighting for justice, but he's challenging a Greek Adonis right now. That is Tony Nese. Tony Nese isn't just some scrappy nobody working for $5 at a gymnasium that Flip Gordon usually works. He's the true peak pinnacle of professional wrestling. Man of pure muscle, pure technical skill, unbelievable power. If Flip Gordon wants to face Tony Nese, that's his prerogative, but Flip is going to have a massive paradigm shift if he does, because Tony Nese will lift him up and send that scrawny third-rate Pac ripoff ass straight out into orbit and force him to finally see the curvature of the earth. So Tony Nese accepting Flip Gordon's challenge. Tony's been a bully. Flip doesn't like bullies apparently and is accepting the challenge here. Samoa Joe redeems the beginning of this horrible show with a quick promo backstage. Previously, obviously, he had beaten up some members of the Foundation. Tonight, he has Rhett Titus in the ring, a member of the Foundation, and he tells Jay Lethal that, he told him I told you I was going to start dismantling your goons. And I hear Rhett Titans can't even be here tonight. Oh, actually, he's going to be fighting Josh Woods. Sorry, Rhett Titus, he was the one he beat up last week. He says, next, I have a match tonight with Josh Woods. See what happens when you step in my way. I will rip apart everyone you put in front of me until I can get my hands on you. And then when you are alone, you will wish you never stepped in my way. So 66, Joe is being all angry. Kind of what we expect from him. We got for the Pure Championship, a little too short, which is interesting. Tracy Williams versus Matt Sydal. I guess Matt Sydal's a higher rating than I thought versus Tracy Williams. Tracy Williams has had several good showings of the last week and has earned himself a shot at the Pure Championship that Matt Sydal won on Dynamite. And Tracy Williams does, in fact, beat Matt Sydal in 14 minutes by pinfall and wins the Ring of Honor Pure title. Gets 54. It's a pretty solid match overall. About what we would expect from them. Afterwards, Tracy Williams is holding up the Pure Championship, and Yuta, former holder of the Pure Championship, comes out to confront them. The two of them obviously have been going at each other's throats, former tag partners, not liking each other after the end of that tournament. Yuta is trying to confront him to be like, hey, we need to have this match or something, like kind of trying to like issue a challenge. And Tracy this time decides to shrug off Wheeler Yuta and just walk past him. So not giving him any time, any opportunity. This struggled a little bit. Yuta apparently was struggling when going off script, needed to be scripted during this segment, and maybe looked a little confused out in the ring. But it seems like we are building towards Tracy Williams and Wheeler Yuta for the Pure Championship. We do have a new title change at our hands here with that. And then we have Adam Cole, our trios, or six-man tag champion, versus Swerve Strickland. I feel bad for Swerve because he's not getting a good run so far in Ring of Honor. He has a competitive match, but ultimately Adam Cole is able to defeat Swerve in 20 minutes by pinfall, but after using a foreign object to win. Fans are turned off by the finish of the match, unfortunately, but that is the point because Adam Cole is a heel. He has 69, Swerve had a 61, and got the crowd buzzing, which is good. We do have some gimmick changes here. Let's see what that is. Oh, I guess we won't see what that is. After the match, we have Adam Cole, being in the center of the ring, and the Righteous come out. And the Righteous have said that they feel like there are people that are not worthy of being here, that Ring of Honor represents a challenge and a peak of performance, and that they are basically going to be the gatekeepers for that. And those they feel are not worthy to be here will suffer their consequences. And it seems like they've targeted Adam Cole. Now, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks are our six-man championships, but it's a very tenuous relationship because, as we found out from the news and the save, the Young Bucks were kicked out of the Elite. Adam Cole has usurped them. So it's a very weird situation of them being the champions here, but pretty much hating each other and being enemies. Vincent comes out with the rest of the Righteous. The Righteous take take corners of the ring, and Vincent gets in to confront Adam Cole, grabs a microphone, and meanwhile the other members are getting prepared to strike. He says, Adam Cole, the last time you were in the Ring of Honor, you were on your back. And then you fled to the swamps of Orlando, where your surrogate father proudly pointed at his latest acquisition while protecting you from adversity all the way. The fans could sense it. I think you sensed it too, that unearned position, the weakness within you bubbling up. Never quite up to muster, never really there, especially compared to your other friends. And now you hold the belts with friends turned enemies those you've betrayed once again to get one more rung up that ladder, unearned. Will they come to your aid now? They protect the prize you all still carry? The Righteous, in that moment, then strike and attack Adam Cole. But to Vincent's shock, the Young Bucks do come out to fend off the attack. And the Righteous slink away, amused by the situation. There's a cold standoff between Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, and it looks like maybe there's a bit of a reconciliation, but there's not. The Young Bucks then quickly push Cole aside and walk away, basically kind of saying, listen, you are our partner here, but we don't like you, and we will defend you. We won't. That is only to the extent that I need to, right? It's a 47, does okay. Performance Adam Cole out there was great, got the crowd hotter. We actually lost some heat for some of the Young Bucks story here, but we're building to something else with the Righteous, which is fine. Then we got our main event, Samoa Joe versus Josh Woods. Good heat, decent wrestling. We had Samoa Joe at a 55, Josh Woods at a 47. Joe a little off his game. Joe defeats Josh Woods, gets him in a submission, and makes him tap out. Again, trying to humiliate the Foundation, because a 56 there for us. And of course, at the end, we have Jay Lethal jumping the barricade to surprise Samoa Joe. Ends up brawling between the two of them until Lethal is able to get to the timekeeper's table and is able to hit Jay Lethal over the head. Jay Lethal is able to take the title and hit Samoa Joe over the head with it, knocking him down and getting a win. So kind of saying, like, listen, I don't need my team to beat you, even though, you know, he kind of cheated to get him down on the ground. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there. And that is it for the show, other than our post-show, which is Lee Moriarty and FTR, who didn't have a spot here. Young Bucks were present, but I felt like we were a good opportunity. And Jonathan Gresham, what a weird combo for the six-man. Had superb wrestling, though, for the post-show and a great heat. We get the crowd going happy. Jonathan Gresham and the Young Bucks defeat Lee Moriarty and FTR. We give Jonathan Gresham the win over Lee Moriarty. Gives him an octopus stretch. All of them looking very solid out there. Had a lot of time to shine. It's a 51. Now, it's a post-show, so I do not believe that actually ties into our rating for the actual show itself, which is 53. It's not bad. It's not the peak that we expected, but overall, it's not unsurprising, especially with some of the weaker elements here. But, you know, hopefully we've managed our stars a little bit where they're not going to be as upset. We did have to leave some people off, but you know, we also have to manage our finances. So that's what I'm going to be really looking at is, did we completely blow our budget on this show, and was it worth it? You know, we'll have to see. Overall, though, we do increase our popularity in 37 regions, and we had 360 people there, so not a sellout for Tri-State, but still pretty good. All right. So, CMLL officials are said to be greatly annoyed by the multitude of anti-CMLL signs that appeared through Ring of Honor Wrestling last night. We had made them just to piss them off because they had attacked us as well. So that is what we did, just to piss them off. How was our show? Well, we'll have to take a look. I would have to say probably pretty okay. Where is it on the list here? I always feel like I sometimes just completely miss it, and I do not know why. But 487,000 viewers, 53, you know, probably pretty good. Nick Jackson's opinion says Willie Nightingale is charismatic. I can see her doing well in the future. Which is why we're trying to build her up. So 487,000 viewers. We are still in debt. What did we make here? mean, it doesn't look like we spent that much money, but always hard to know. We did get our advertising revenue. Did we get any sponsor money? We do the same amount of sponsor money. We're probably about capped out there. So we're still going to run negative this month, from the looks of it. And we have no pay-per-view coming up. We have a pay-per-view in 15 days with Best in the World, but we are trying to do every other week. So something we're going to have to worry about. Diana Peraza has some morale issues now because we didn't have her on TV. So that is something we'll have to deal with. But no other ones added other than what we had already. I think we can manage those with just open forum and trying to manage it. So, that is what it is. Overall, pretty good show. Wasn't as good as the last one, but we do have some big stuff building here that I'm pretty excited about. So happy with overall where we were. And hopefully, if we can turn this budget around, we won't get completely axed by AEW. Though overall, our owner rating still is excellent. So for what it is, what it's worth, we seem to be doing okay, well enough. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time for another episode of Ring of Honor. Have a good one.